time and time and time again, I show y'all that Devin Haney don't want no smoke with Shakur Stevenson. Excuse me, not I show y'all. Devin Haney shows y'all that he don't want no smoke with Shakur. And here we are again. You know, Bill Haney was just out here running around talking about how Bob Arum wasn't offering him the Shakur Stevenson fight. Then Bob Arum came out and said he was offering Devin Haney 3 fights, that being Shakur Stevenson, the winner of Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez, and the Lomachenko rematch. So that was cat. And now we know it's super cat because it's just been revealed that they offered Shakur a contract. And what was the split on that contract for a potential Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson fight? 75-25, with Shakur Stevenson getting 25%. This is a classic duck move. And you got Devin Haney fans out here defending this bullshit. A Devin Haney fan on Twitter tweeted, "A contender that believes he's the A-side against the sitting undisputed champion." And Shakur responded, "Get on my nuts, dog. I don't think I'm the A-side. I just know my worth. And 25% ain't it. And I didn't turn the fight down either. So that was supposedly the first offer. We haven't heard back yet." We're going to get into that last statement a little later in the video about him turning down the 25% and not hearing anything else yet from Team Haney. We're going to get into that later. But right now, I just want to talk about this 25% bullshit. And Devin Haney's fans defending this bullshit. And Devin Haney agreeing with his fans defending the bullshit. Which shows y'all even more he really don't want no smoke with Shakur. He out here liking tweets talking about Shakur need to sign the contract. And Shakur turned down the contract. Why would Shakur Stevenson accept 25% against Devin Haney? It does not make sense. And the 2 excuses that I see Devin Haney's fans making about why Shakur should accept 25% is because Devin Haney accepted 30% against Kambosos and because he's undisputed. Nah, that ain't gonna cut it, and I'm about to show y'all why. With the main reason being, boxing is a business, and it has to make sense business-wise for Shakur Stevenson to accept 25% from Devin Haney, which it just doesn't at all. And don't say the business don't matter because he's undisputed, because we all know that Devin Haney going into a fight with Gervonta Davis, that the belts don't matter at all. Gervonta Davis is the A-side in that fight, so you can't use that excuse. And when you look at the business side of it, before this Lomachenko fight, Shakur Stevenson was smoking Devin Haney business-wise across the board. I know it feels like Devin Haney is this big star, but he's not. He's not a star. Shakur Stevenson, on the business side, is a bigger fighter than Devin Haney. And that ain't my opinion. These are facts that we can Google and look up. And we just going to look at their last 3 fights. They've each had 3 fights since Devin Haney signed with Top Rank. And I'm doing that to be fair to y'all Devin Haney fans. I mean, we not even going to talk about him failing to sell 5,000 tickets with Jojo Diaz and Linares. We ain't going to talk about that. I'm going to let y'all live with that. We going to talk about just the last 3 fights. Let's look at Shakur's last 3. Yoshino, Robson Casasio, and Oscar Valdez. I couldn't find nothing for the Yoshino fight, but I do believe it was sold out in Shakur's hometown in Newark. I think they sold like 10,000 tickets for that fight and sold out again. But I couldn't find it for sure, so let's look at Oscar Valdez and Casasio. As you can see, Shakur versus Casasio sold over 8,000 tickets and did over $800,000 at the gate. And then the fight before that, against Oscar Valdez, he sold over 10,000 tickets and did a $1.6 million gate. In the fight with Casasio, they had an average of 1.1 million people tuned in to watch the fight, with the highest amount of people tuning in to watch the fight being 1.15 million people. In the fight with Oscar Valdez, they averaged 1.35 million people, with the peak being 1.44 million people tuned in to watch the fight. Now let's look at Devin Haney's last 3 fights, which was Lomachenko and the 2 Kambosos fights. And his big, super, mega, undisputed showdown with George Kambosos in the first fight, the highest viewership was 1.35 million people, which was the average viewership for Shakur in his fight with Oscar Valdez. So Shakur wins there. And then in the rematch, they failed to bring in an average of even 1 million people to tune in for the fight. So Shakur wins again. And we don't have the gate information for these fights with Kambosos, but we do know that in the first fight, I think there was about 40,000 plus people in attendance in Australia for Kambosos, so you really can't credit Haney for that, especially when you factor in he failed to bring in even 5,000 people to his hometown in Las Vegas and to the Lomachenko fight, so you really can't credit him for that. And I think in the rematch, they didn't even bring back 20,000 people. I don't know. I couldn't find the numbers, but it was something like that. And then, of course, we had a Lomachenko fight where Devin Haney finally cracked the $1 million gate for the first time in his career. Did a $3 million gate, sold about 16,000 to 17,000 tickets, and sold 150,000 pay-per-views. Now, of course, most of that 16,000 to 17,000 person crowd was booing Devin Haney and was holding up Ukraine flags and supporting Lomachenko. But I'm not going to be petty like that. I'm going to let y'all have that. I'm not even going to be petty. All I want to know is, what out of all that information tells y'all that Shakur Stevenson should only be getting 25% against Devin Haney? If Shakur Stevenson, with those numbers in comparison to Devin Haney's numbers, only deserves 25%, what does Devin Haney deserve from Gervonta Davis when you compare their numbers? Now, when Tank come home and sign that contract, because I believe that is what's happening next. I'm going to do a video on that next. But when he comes home and he signs that contract, I better see none of y'all Devin Haney fans talking crazy if Tank offers a number like that. If Tank offers a number like 25%. Because you can't even compare Tank's numbers to Devin Haney's numbers. There's a comparison between Devin Haney's numbers and Shakur's numbers, with Shakur winning most of them comparisons. So to my Tank fans, make sure we remember this right here when Tank come home. And if he offer a number similar to that, make sure we remember how these Devin Haney fans were talking to Shakur for not accepting 25%. And then these Devin Haney fans keep talking about, well, he took 30% against Kambosos. He had to. He had no leverage against Kambosos. Kambosos had 3 of the belts that he wanted, and Kambosos was the one that was generating the revenue for the fight. Those 40,000 tickets sold in that first fight was in Australia, in his hometown. So that came off of Kambosos' back. That wasn't Devin Haney's work, that was Kambosos. So Kambosos deserved to have a lion's share. He earned it. In this situation, Devin Haney has not earned 75% against Shakur Stevenson. It just don't make sense. And I agree, Devin should be the A side. He is the undisputed champion. He should be the A side in the situation with Shakur. He wouldn't be against Tank. We know Tank numbers is just too big. That's a whole different situation. But in this situation with Shakur, he should be the A side. And that's why Shakur acknowledged that. Shakur said, I know I'm not the A side, but you're not giving me 25%. Like, even if you go off the gate numbers, Devin Haney's highest gate was $3 million against Lomachenko. Shakur's highest gate was $1.6 million against Oscar Valdez. 1.6 is 53% of 3. So Devin should get 53%. Why not 53%? Shit, I'm sure Shakur would even accept 60-40. Which brings me back to my point earlier that I said I would get to. If you pay attention, Devin and his fans try to make it seem like Shakur turned it down, so it's over. Shakur already turned it down, it's over. He ain't want to fight. But Shakur didn't turn the fight down. He said he turned that 25% down. Meaning, obviously, he's waiting for a better offer. Give him a better offer. I bet he'd take the fight. 25% is crazy. Give him 40%. He deserved 40. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Shakur took it at 35, to be real. But 25 is just crazy. And it shows you that they don't really want to fight. And if they don't send another offer after Shakur turned down that 25%, it shows you they weren't trying to make that fight. They priced themselves out on purpose. They knew Shakur wouldn't accept no damn 25%. He would be a dummy to accept that, no matter how many belts is on the line. And they know that. And Devin knows that. This is the scariest shit I ever seen, man. Y'all Devin Haney fans, y'all gotta talk to me. What's going on over there? But that's what I got for y'all. I'm out.